the cops on me. On a mission to be champs since they let me free. Prepare for combat, my adversaries crumble. Face it, I got a reputation for damage. Busters get ready to rumble. They lock me in a cell, have me trapped in a living hell. Though not guilty, I'm still in jail. Brother, I serve my time like a soldier. Maintain composure. My shadow boxing the fight to the death, busting boulders. Every boxer with a pair of gloves. Best give up love. Here's a man from the makings of a thug. A lethal weapon, mind sharp. And in my heart, there's a wish to shake the world with the flurry of my black fist. Now once a high school dropout, now I'm the $1 million champ. Who's the next to get knocked out? Straight out of Brooklyn and worldwide.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Cheap Seats Boxing Show. It's your man JP here, just kicking it. We had to split it up today. Man, the work is kicking our ass. But follow us, Cheap Seats Boxing Show, on all platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, iPadio, Podomatic, Windows, Google, YouTube, everything. So what we are about to get into, because we are here, we are boxing colonizers. We are going to talk about the Superfly 2. Now, you got to start where it's the most important, right? Estrada. Why am I saying Estrada? And Rungvisai. I always want to say Rungvisai's other name, so you got to excuse me. Great fight, like back and forth action. Me personally, I think Rungvisai won the fight. In the aspect of Estrada was very competitive, but it was one of those close fights where he just didn't take it from the champ. Now the scorecards bothered me. The 117, 111, that bothered me. There was no, it was not that much of a difference. Don't get it twisted. Scoring a draw, understood. The 115, 113, understood. The 117, 111, that's not a good look. That is not a good look. For the most part, I think Rungvisai kind of looked different to me than he did against Chocolatito. He was kind of like pressing the fight, like just coming forward, trying to outwill him in this fight. And I'll say I don't think he outwilled Estrada, but I think his constant movement gave him the edge. Constant forward movement is what I mean. He kept coming up, trying to get it done. So I got to give it to him for that. I really do. I think he's looking good, man. He is looking good. Like, Thailand, tip your hat off to that man. He's really putting y'all on the map. And you're seeing a hungry young lion eat. And in that division, like, he beat Chocolatito and Estrada. Think about that. Of course, who's next? We'll get to that in a minute, because I think that's going to be an interesting fight because of the Arroyo Cuadras fight. Very, very interesting. I don't have much to say about the Valoria loss to is it Dalakian? I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but because he got washed, man. He just got done. I mean, hey. He just got beat straight up and down. No punches pulled. Everybody saw it the same way. Like, he got outclassed, basically. So let's leave that one alone, if you don't mind. If y'all don't mind. But we got to talk about this. Cuadras Arroyo. Now, the scorecards bothered me too, because I didn't see this as a draw. The 95-95 bothered me. I think Arroyo was the sharper fighter. He got clubbed a few times. Don't get it twisted. He got clubbed a few times. And I know everybody saw that back agony on Quadras and thought like, yo, how did he pass? How did he pass? I know they did. I'm not saying he's on something, but when they saw that acne, I know they was like, what? Like, it is what it is, you know. That's just a telltale sign that he has a red flag on him just because of that, whether it's natural or not. But in my opinion, you know, Arroyo was the sharper fighter. Clearly won the fight. You know, it wasn't a draw. Is not no. I mean, there came a point where you could tell. I guess he had taken Quadras' best shot, and at the same time, he was just comfortable, and he knew that he can outclass him at that point. And when he found his groove on that, that's what he did. Whether the power died down or he just got comfortable, because he had to go through the power at first. Because, I mean, there was a couple of times he really could have been out of there. You know, he had to fight back, because I know he got buzzed. Oh, I know he got buzzed. But you got to give him heart. You got to give him respect because he has heart. He fought through it. He kept coming, and he executed his game plan, which made me think, you know, this is a good smart guy. Now, man, oh man. So we got to talk about Nietes. Is it Reveco? Look, all you need to know about this fight is the end of round 6. That will point out to you, because it ended in 7. Nietes caught Reveco with a short right at the end of the 6th round. Because he was beating him the whole time. Like, he didn't lose a round, but he caught him against, like, he was just laid back against the ropes, short right by the bell. Reveco was out. I mean, he was Elvis Presley walking back to his corner. You could tell he wasn't right. The ref knew it. The fans knew it. You know, Nietes knew it. And you know he was going to take advantage of it. And the crazy part about it was, as soon as, you know, you would think, and some people don't realize this, but, you know, you don't really get all your bearings back after you really get rocked. And, you know, that minute, when he got it, after that minute was over and the round started, 7 started, he was still out on his feet. You could, you know, that's what people tell you somebody has shaky legs, because some people can't notice it as well. When they're watching a fight, they don't know what people are talking about. But if you look at Reveco coming out in round 7, and it's like, you know, he's still kind of dancing a little bit, like his legs are dancing, not him, then you say, oh, that's what they mean by shaky legs. He couldn't really get his bearings. And, you know, Nietes just played it like a vet. You know, he picked a few shots, kept the pressure on, took his time, and then unloaded. And, you know, Reveco's corner had to just throw in the towel because they knew he wasn't ready. He was not ready whatsoever. And, you know, you got to give it to him for having him and his corner having the heart to continue. But no, man, no. Now, I say that to say this. You know, that was a great week. Great week of boxing. And I got to backtrack a little bit and tell you folks that, you know, what happens a lot of times is, we talk about this, when you have the smaller weight classes, people don't give those guys enough respect. But when it comes to those Superflies, you know, they have one of the most exciting groups in boxing. You know, some people overlook it because, you know, you think about heavyweights and all that other stuff. But truth be told, man, if you want to see a war and warriors go at it, and you want to see the blood and guts, and you want to see people who could switch it up a little bit, you know, those flyweights, they ain't playing. They really not playing, you know. And I think they don't get enough credit. So I just have to throw that out there. Like, they need to get more credit. because they do some great work, man. Great work. So, what we talking about this week? It's March 3rd. We got a Kovalev fight. We got the Ortiz fight. So, let's just go with the Kovalev fight real quick. And let's talk about the most important part. Because Sergey against Igor. Oh, shit. McHalkin, I think. This is what I get for watching too many Marvel movies. Now I can't pronounce anything. But the co-feature is really the interesting one to me. Barrera against Bivol for the WBA. Let me tell you something. This fight here, this is, when I tell you, this is going to be a good battle. Good battle. What is it? Bivol's undefeated. Good knockout ratio. Strong guy. Orthodox fighter. Basically Russian. Powerful guy. Nice with it. Going against who? Sullivan Barrera. And some of y'all don't understand, he a man child. Does his one loss to Andre Ward really count against him? Not really. I mean, think about what he did after. I want you to think about what he did after his loss to Andre Ward. Think about that. Think about it. 7-round KO for Shabransky. 5th round KO of Parker. 10-round decision against Smith. And 10-round decision against Valera. Come on, man. He's pushing it, man, and that's active. He had 3 fights last year, and at the beginning of March, he's starting his first one. So he's on pace. He might wind up having 4 this year if he keeps it up. We're talking about a guy. We're talking about 2 fighters who really bring it. Really bring it. And I would not be surprised what this is the winner of this fight is probably going to fight Kovalev next and unify those belts. Because that's the Kovalev has the WBO light heavyweight title, which is on the line. Which is going to be interesting, to say the least. Because I think his opponent is a good boxer, but let's be honest, does he really stand a chance? Because he can't knock anybody out. Are you thinking? Do you think he's going to come up with a post-star performance? Because a lot of people lose to Kovalev, in my opinion, because of the beginning, because he comes out like a bull, and you can't really keep up with him when he comes out. That power is there early, but you're dealing with somewhat of a boxer, so he's going to try to evade you, And for Igor was like a heavyweight, but that might work against him. Like some people think because you're a bigger guy, that doesn't always play out in your favor. I will say that, and that creates a mean problem, just in my opinion, because he was a heavyweight, he probably been hit by harder punchers, but he was bigger. So now that he's smaller, doesn't mean he can take the same amount of punishment. So I think he's going to be out of there quick. It's just my opinion, but I think he's going to be out of there quick because I don't think some of y'all remember when when Roy Jones Jr. kept going up and down in weight, it was a problem. It became a problem because of the fluctuation in weight, and more so because of age. More so because of age. And to me, that's a recipe for disaster sometimes. But I could be wrong, but I doubt it. But that's going to be a heck of a lead up, because that main event, that co-feature is going to lead everybody into what you're going to come to find out is probably the best, one of the best fights of the year, which, winner of Barrera Bivol. I'm taking Barrera, but don't get it twisted. Like, Dimitri he could pull his upset. He's very well equipped to do that, but I think, we have a way we do things, and Barrera has seen better fighters. His best opponent was Andre Ward, and what if he knows a guy isn't on that level or near that level? I don't think he's impressed. So I think, unless he's coming out like a buzzsaw, Dimitri's gonna have a problem. So it's just my opinion, but we shall see. We shall see. The great fight that we all want to see. Well, here's the thing. Is Wilder Ortiz. That's the main event. Durrell is fighting that night against Jose. I suck at pronouncing these names, man. It's from Venezuela. Look, I'm not even gonna butcher your name, fam. I'm not. But this is an interesting fight because it's Uzcat Iguai. I hate names, man, because I got a basic ass name. But ultimately, I'm gonna say this. This is actually a prime time for Andre Durrell to get upset in this fight. So I can't, because of inactivity. His inactivity is what bothers me. He had one fight last year, one fight 2016, one fight 2015. So think about that. Like, just think about that. That's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. He's fighting a younger fighter with a higher KO percentage. They fought the same amount of fights. They both the same size. He's losing a little bit on the reach, but that inactivity bug, man. It's a problem, and I'm gonna tell you why it's a problem. Because he beat him the last time, and that that was the fight. That was the freaking fight. He was beating Durrell in that fight. I couldn't think of it at the time, but he was beating Durrell in that fight, and he got DQ'd. Because he's just as inactive as a fighter, but because of that, this is a fighter who may just have Durrell's number, and what's going to happen is because he didn't get the victory he should have gotten last time, he might beat the brakes off of Durrell. I couldn't think of it at the time, but I remember that fight. Durrell got a gift because of that DQ, and he has to do way more to win this fight than I would think is gonna. he's man. Unfortunately, this also reminds me of that Roy Jones fight when Roy Jones got disqualified for knocking out, was that Montel Griffin, and then Montel, they fought again and he just utterly destroyed him. Like, I could actually see Jose just bowling right through him. I mean, I hate to say that, but I don't really hate to say that because I don't think there's no fear there. I think Darrell has more to prove in this fight than Jose does. Man, he might get knocked out early. I'm going with Jose in the first 4 rounds. That's just my opinion. Main event: Deontay Wilder, Bomb Squad, versus Luis Ortiz. I'm gonna tell you. First off, I'm picking Wilder. I understand the technical part of boxing. I understand the Cuban part. And I understand that Ortiz is a far better boxer than Deontay Wilder, by far. This is why I'm picking Wilder, though. I'm going to get into the fight first, but then I'm going to say something after about it. I'm picking Wilder for this reason. Ortiz, southpaw. Cuban. Wilder, orthodox. American. These are heavyweight fighters. And I say this a million times about the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division has across the board one thing that's missing. Head movement. And the number one punch that you can that is known to put a southpaw in their place is a straight right. And who has the most lethal straight right in boxing is Deontay Wilder. He doesn't have to hit you a whole bunch of times. That's a one-hitter quitter. You can be one and done. He can sit you down with that one shot. Even if you get up, you won't be the same. So, because he has the reach, not necessarily the height. See, height is an advantage for him because there is no movement in the heavyweight division. So as long as he has the reach over everybody, and that's the thing. That's worse than not having than having height, because if he's throwing these punches out there, these guys aren't moving and they're blocking and they're trying to catch shots and block shots with their hands. And the problem is, you've seen Deontay Wilder hurt people even when he hit them on their gloves. So a combination, even if you blocked it, is going to take a lot out of you. And I think that does more damage than most people care to talk about. Now, can Ortiz win? I mean, there's a possibility. I mean, he's trying to look slimmer than he usually looks. He's a big guy. They're both big guys. But, he's got to slip, punches. He's got to duck. He got to bob. He's got to weave. And I just don't see that in that whole division, I'm sure he probably have it in his bag because he's been boxing forever and a day, but unfortunately, that's not part of that division. And, you can't do something if you haven't been doing something for a long time, or you haven't shown that you can do something, shown yourself you can do something in a long time. You're probably going to be comfortable doing what you've been doing, and I don't think what he's been doing is going to work because of the reach and the straight right. But that being said, this fight legitimizes either fighter. This fight is two undefeated heavyweights who are avoided and have been avoided by heavyweights. So no matter how you slice it, these two guys are at this particular point, fight of the year. It's early in the year, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you got two people who are willing to go at it. And the great thing about this fight, was the second chance. Deontay Wilder said something not too long ago. They asked him why give Ortiz an opportunity, and he said first is because he says he's the best and he wants to fight the best. So why not? Second was because they both have kids with disabilities, and he was like, he has to try to feed his family just like I do, so I understand that struggle. So I got to give him a shot just because of that. So that was great to see, even in a business like what they call boxing, which is a hurt business. You have a man willing to put his title on the line because he sees himself in another contender because they have a similar situation. The putting the scandals aside as far as performance enhancing drugs, I gotta tip my hat off to Deontay, and I gotta, and Ortiz, you gotta bring it. Like, that's sentimental and all, but when the bell rings, you gotta throw that out of there. So I think it's gonna be a great. I think last week they're gonna have to have some knockouts to top last week, but I think this is a great 2-week stint of boxing. These 2 weeks are probably going to put great pressure on. I wouldn't say great pressure, but put pressure on Garcia Lipnitz's fight, because people are going to be looking for great action. Great action. So I love it. Now, there's one other thing that has to be talked about. They started the Triple G and Canelo rollout. And these fighters, they respect each other, but they don't like each other, which I don't think they should. But it's something about this fight that something about this rollout that piqued my interest. There's a pound for pound list out here. Okay? And this is what got me. They rated on this pound for pound list, they rated Triple G was number 1. And I think Triple G was 1. I want to say Crawford was 2. Lomachenko was 3. And Canelo was either 4 or 5. No. Inoue was 4. And then Canelo. Now here's my beef with this. I know they're trying to, push the fight early. I get that. I know they're trying to get everybody amped up because we're in March. It's right around the corner. But y'all pushing it with the pound for pound stuff in certain places. Like, I like Triple G. I really do. But I heard Andre Ward say this, and I gotta wholeheartedly agree with him. Canelo is a smarter fighter. He has a better imagination. So he's pretty much got all the advantages in this rematch. Even though, in my opinion, both of them kind of flip-flop styles in their first fight. So you're probably going to see the Triple G that you wanted to show up. But the Canelo that you want to show up he's adjustable. He can fight in any way he wants to because he has a higher boxing IQ and he has a better imagination in the ring. So really, the rollout with talking a lot of trash and these setups, I'm really not buying it. You know, but I can't wait. I think people, we need to talk up this fight more because, in my opinion, you know, we're gonna need some good fights. You know, so man, I'm gonna leave it at that right now. This is where the fighters fight and the fans commentate. We do it just like that from the cheap seats, and we ain't buying no tickets, goddammit. Peace. Colonize us. Yeah, I've been watching the movies.
Please believe that I'll never be shamed again. Again, I'll be the next heavyweight champion. Call me crazy, but no one can fade me. I'm the product of the projects, lost and crazy. Throw your hands up, Mr. Bruno. Ride, Big Mike Tyson about to brutalize that ass tonight. No hesitation for the whole nation. I'll beat that ass so bad I'll probably violate probation. Do demonstration as I strategize information. Intent to kill, so it's real like I'm catching cases.